And now let's go check, guys. It's Jonathan here, and in today's story time is today the time that I hooked up with my friend's sister. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say is that, oh, like, why do you hook up with your friend's sister and stuff? Well, today's story time, I'm about to tell you, and I'm about to explain and stuff. So on today's story time takes place in elementary school. So I had this friend, but like me and him, we stopped talking after like what happened. Let's just name him Mark. So Mark, I met Mark when I was in special ed, and she had a sister. But to be honest, she wasn't the best looking. But at the time, I didn't know, so I just hooked up with her. So I had a friend. His name was Mark, and the sister. Let's just name her Steph. So Steph were related with to Mark, and I didn't knew at first. I thought like they were just like new, and I thought that they didn't like know each other and stuff. So, and this happened on the first day though. So I woke up in the morning, brushed my teeth, took a shower, changed my clothes, and I went off to school. And at the time, I had a bus driver, but I don't ride the bus no more because I don't want people to know where I live. And I was in the third grade, and the sister was like a 3 year difference. So yeah, that part I didn't know, but now I remembered, and now I'm just saying. Anyways, I went to the bus because it was like the first day of elementary school, and I remembered in elementary school I didn't want to go inside the classroom because like at the time I was like nervous and stuff. But now since I'm a junior, I'm no longer like nervous, and now I talk to girls and stuff, but not all the time. Like sometimes, like as a friends, and I remember on that day, like I didn't want like to go inside of the school, and then they would have forced me to go inside the classroom and stuff, and then, bro, like now that I look back at it, bro, I was low key a bitch, kind of low key, but I don't have regrets of doing that because I was little and I didn't know. But now since I'm much older now, I definitely knew, and it wasn't right for me to like not go inside the classroom because if I didn't, well, I would have got in trouble, which I did, but it wasn't like that much. So I saw them both, and I didn't know them because I barely met them. And then me and him, we was talking, and the sister of Mark, we was like all talking in the group. We was becoming like friends like pretty fast. And fast forward to like a week or two later, when it was time to go, and when I was going on my bus, well, in a special ed class, like they had a bus, but it's optional if you want to go to the bus or bus driver. But at the time, they didn't like let you walk because like the age, because most kids around 8 or 9 don't know how to walk, and like the school don't let them walk because it's kind of dangerous. So fast forward, like it was on a Friday, and I was going to my bus, and I started noticing that she was like going like pretty fast. She was going behind me, and then I was like, "Wait, like why she starting to walk fast?" And then I saw her, and then I was like, "What the hell? She's kind of acting weird." So I went inside the bus. I went like to the back of the seat because I'm that type of person to go in the back of the bus driver. I mean, it depends, but if it's a field trip, kind of. But so yeah, so I was sitting and the bus. I was waiting to go home because on this day I was like excited, and she sat next to me, and I was like, "What's up?" And then she's like, "Hey, I have feelings for you." And at first I was like, "Is this girl joking around?" So I asked her that, and then she said she wasn't joking, and I'm like, "Well, if you're not joking, well, prove it to me." And she was like, "Okay." So she leaned in for a kiss, and I like refused, and I backed off, and then I was like, "Bro, like, what are you doing?" And then she was like, "I'm proving it to you. I'm giving you a kiss." And then I was like, "Bro, I'm literally friends with her brother. Like, come on, bro. Like, bro, if I date you, then that means that I'm breaking the bro code of." And then she's like, "So, like, he's not gonna find out." And I'm like, "Bro, he is gonna find out. Just watch, because if me and you, we didn't like talk a lot, and then if me and you were always awkward between him, he's gonna realize that something's wrong." And then she was like, "He's not gonna find out." And then I was like, "Bro, he is. I just told you what is facts." And then she was like, "Come on." And I was like, "Bro, like, no." And then she was like, "Ugh, you're boring." So she went to like the front, and then I was like, "What the fuck?" And so basically, like when the bus went to my location of my house, as I started to get off the bus, she blocked my way, and she kissed me on the lips, and I was like, "Bro, come on, what did I just tell you?" And then she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Bro, you know what I told you." And she started hugging me, and I was like, "Bro, get away from me." And the whole time, Mark was behind the bus, and he looked at this, so he got up. He separated his sister away from me, and then Mark was saying to his sister, "Bro, calm down." And then she was like, "I'm in love with him." And then he's like, "So, like, if he doesn't want to date you, then no." And then her sister gave me her number, and I was like, "Oh my god." So I almost left the bus, and then when I was about to leave, Mark tapped me on the shoulder, and then I turned around, and I was like, "What, Mark?" And then he said, "Bro, if you want to date my sister, fine, go ahead, like, do what you need to do." And I was like, are you gonna get mad if I date?" And then he's like, "No." I'm like, "Alright, I'll think about it and I'll let you know on Monday." And then he's like, "Alright, bro, let me know." And I'm like, "Alright." So fast forward, like 3 days later, I came back to school. I saw her and Mark. I sit down in the classroom. Mark tapped me on the shoulder, and then I was like, "What, bro?" And he's like, remember on Friday?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Have you thought your decision?" And I was like, "Yes." And then Mark says, "So what's your decision?" And then I said, "Yes." And then Mark told his sister about it, and me and her, we eventually hooked up, and we broke up, but I don't know how we broke up because it's been a long time. So fast forward 8 years later, one of my female friends told me that she graduated, and I was like, "Who?" And then she said the girl's name, and I'm like, "Her?" And then they were like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, "Well, just say like what's up to her." And then they were like, "Alright, bet." So I guess so. More of the story is, don't be like me, bro, because I'm not the type of person to hook up with us with one of like their like relatives. But yeah, I did. So yeah, so let's see you guys in the next video, guys. Peace.